Welcome back to the channel. Harley Quinn here, leader of Tears of Angels in Region 293 with another video from the mobile game Doomsday Last Survivors. Now, before we get into it, don't forget to like, sub and turn on that bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. Now, let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we will be explaining the battle report. Now, I had a message from one of you asking me to explain battle reports to try to make some sense of them, because he has 100% a good point. They are a hot mess, and it took me a long time to understand what was happening in them. And I completely understand people not understanding them. However, there is some really good information coming from them that is quite helpful to understand. And so outpost. So let's use this battle report from Island Raid to explain some things. So you have your report, you have your basic overview. Me versus the person that it's attacking. Now, depending on which way attacking or defending, it will pop up with the person that started the garrison first. So if I had my farm starting it first for some reason, she's hit me, and then I've swapped garrison leaders to myself, it will pop up with my little wood account, terrible arms and everything, but the number will be crazy strong, and you'll sit there and go, huh? How did that happen? So don't get caught out by that. Pay attention to which leader was leading the damage, which you can do by constantly scouting the tower to make sure they haven't changed leaders on you and shaken up the garrison. So command, if, let's just say it is a basic, no trickery like that, me versus her. Equipment is explained. You get to look here to see how leveled up your parts are, your equipment in terms of red, gold, etc. Your parts, and as well as your refinement. So we both have refinement 10 bag. She has 10 and 10 rider equipment. So her equipment is better than mine. My parts are better than her. Now you can click on this and you can see what they've got. Doesn't really matter there. You then have hero armaments. You can see I have superbs. She doesn't. My arms are better. If you wanted a breakdown, you click on it and you can see what buffs they have. Now I like to go through and add the mites up all the way through to get an idea of if we're close. Keeping an eye out for superbs if they have that rare skill home, because that makes a huge difference in battle for very little amount of might. Vehicles, another very important thing. She is 17 rider attack versus an 11 defense. I am 20 attack versus 15 defense. This again plays a huge part in terms of your attack, defense, and overall damage. I have done a workshop guide previously. I will drop that in the links below. I go through the workshop and everything detailed in that. You then come down to your beasts. You can see which beast is leading. So on the left hand side, it is the bigger hexagon. So the bigger hexagon is the leader, and the support is the smaller one, because they kind of get mirrored, if it makes sense. Like it's flipped, so it's a bit confusing if you aren't really paying too much attention. So I have 100 gold bull awakened and a 71 purple bull awakened versus her 109 cat and 6011 a purple cat. My damage far higher. Chips, looking at this, matters as well. So she doesn't have a full set of crit yet, and she's got that going on. So you can see if your beasts are on par. Now that's the simple stuff. So that's the simple stuff explained. Coming down to this, without diving into the total mess, you have the squad information. Of course, it's expired. That's annoying. Okay, I'm gonna have to use a recent one. Is this recent enough? Yes. Okay. We're jumping into this one. This was from IR. I tested Spectre Bard in a rally. I landed second or third. Using your information you've just learnt, you can see parts-wise he is better infantry based. He's quite strong with a lot of red hones, so his arms are better and his workshop is better as well. Now I've landed second, so my beast is wailing on him for free damage because his beast is attacking the first rally leader. This plays a huge part in your garrisons, and your garrison beasts need to be strong if you're facing more than one rally, because they take multiple damage. His chips are a lot stronger than mine, however he's got them mixed up and isn't... That's not how I would run them. Yeah, that's not affecting that, and that's wasted by being on the brain. So those two chips are wasted there, and he's losing out on the 6-piece set, where that one should be there maybe? I don't know. Ugh. Coming down to here, you have your squad information. You can see who joined your rally. So you can see how many people joined the rally and filled. You can then see what troops they used and how many troops died. So it's a way to be able to tell, hey, you're putting the wrong thing into my tower. Don't do that. Or when people whinge and moan and, oh, I'm getting slaughtered, but they really aren't. There one, you can see what they're putting into the tower. So you can also tell if they're filling with a lot of T6 versus you're a lot of T5. You've got a bit of an understanding that they have stronger players online, and it may not be worthwhile continuing. The trades should match that though. But in terms of this number, if they're filling a lot of T6 versus our T5, T6 are worth more might points. So if we're killing more T6, the kills might be the same, for example, but if the numbers are different, it's because you're killing more T6 than everything else. Deaths. This is the main one that matters in your siege events, is if the deaths are really, really high. Heavy wounded is more of a fatiguing number. You can heal them, so it's not as bad. Whereas deaths, you'll lose those troops and you're filling up your aid station. You want your deaths high if you can. Otherwise, obviously, the bigger the number, the better damage you're dealing. Same thing. It has a little bit of an idea of telling you what's happened. Light wounded, they get healed and they go straight back to your base. Heavy wounded, they go to your hospital. If your hospital exceeds its capacity, they die. So that is the easy stuff kind of explained. You've got your two commanders that are fighting, overview of what they have, and then down below is every other squad that has attacked you, whether it be swarm or died from refilling or whatever. So you can see what's happening there, which you can normally tell right at the tippy top. You can see all these people getting donked. First big button at the top is squad buff. Now this compares your 2 garrison leaders and rally leaders comparing to each other. So this shows you your heroes, and you can tell what they're looking at. So dual, full transcended Boyd and Stellar versus my Spectre and fully transcended Bard. So his infantry squad attack is 400%, and my ranged is 397. So obviously his infantry will be higher than mine, but my ranged wants to be higher than his infantry. So infantry defense is 314 versus my 316, so I'm winning there. His infantry HP is 203, mine is only 191. So I'm slightly beating him in terms of my damage and defense, but squad damage reduction, I am winning. Squad damage, he is winning. Skill damage, he is winning. Then you've got your lethality and your squad firepower. So my firepower is higher than his squad protection, and because he is garrisoning, I am attacking him, therefore it plays off my attack, not my defense. Now, my protection is lower than him, so his squad firepower plays effect on me. So, barrage fire I gain the gap, which increases their damage dealt to the opponent's squad, and me, their firepower is greater, they gain barrage fire and increasing damage dealt to me. So we kind of neutralize each other out. However, his workshop is better than mine, so he is doing more damage to me. You want to level up your attack and defense evenly. You can't just level up your attack because you will get melted in these kinds of trades. You then compare your beasts, which you can see he's got level 100, awakened. His bull's better than mine, but my HP, my attack, my defense is better. His crit is slightly higher than mine, but that is because his is leveled up, and everything else, my beasts are better, except down here, which will come from potentially a pristine transcension from him. That breaks down your commanders and their buffs, and now the combat log. Yuck. Big hot mess. Looking at it, gives you the time, date, location it happened, shows you what you're rocking versus what they're rocking, and kind of shows you your camp, squad sizes that were in there, what they had, and then the battle overview. So over here in the top left, you can click on these and it shows what has launched each time. So that's Invincible Fleet, 1 time. Direct Confrontation launched 5 times and it did that many damages. So that's the small little damage factor. Precise Reflection. Gives you those. Did 13 times, but didn't kill anyone. Aurora Veil is another buffing one, 8 times. Magic Marksman is the big hunker-dunker damage, killing 518. Buff. Dominating Seas is Bard's skill. So Bard did 495 and she did 518. So because she was flanking, she dealt more damage than Bard did in the rally, which is pretty insane. And Purge the Weakness is 34 times inflicted. 34 times activated. Coming down to the enemies, you can see the kills and times activated. This is how you tell how much damage they are pumping out. Now, because I was not focusing him, you can see that not a single one of these skills did any damage to me really, except this one, which is a counter attack. Sorry, it's shield absorption converted to damage and deflection. So it's shield deflection. That's the word I was after. It did a little bit of damage to me. But because I'm not the lead rally, I'm getting free damage on him. Which is why you normally want a tanking infantry if you can. That is where you see them. And then you come down to this. Now, see these little bio looking things? This is when your skills go off. Ally skill, and nothing else happened. Rage skill used. Rage skill. Rage skill, rage skill. Now, I'm not entirely sure what happened here because there's no rage skills going off for many seconds, which is weird. So, there's something going funky there. But, your first one is just basic information. Stella has joined the battle. My firepower is greater than the enemy's protection. I gain barrage. Their firepower is better than my protection. They gain barrage. United Foot power. Ally beast combo damage. 6%. Spectre. My armament skills is from my IE rare skill. And then it goes through and it pops all the buffs from beasts, skills, so on, so on, so on. This pretty much just goes through and goes, these are all the buffs that are active as soon as the battle starts. Blah, 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 blah. Then they come down. All these things. Allied launched a basic attack on the enemy, 0 troops. They resisted it because the shield absorbed that much damage and can resist even more damage again. So, they took no damage. He triggered Sonic Pulse, which is the damage reflection, and I lost so many troops. Then it shows you each person that's in my rally taking troop damage for a total of that many. So on, so forth, launching skills, blah, 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 blah. Launched a counter-attack on me and I lost troops. My bull did damage. My bull triggered a critical hit. He lost that much and has this much remaining. I used Iron Hooves. He lost more health. All the way down. All the way down. Now, every 3 seconds inside a... Let's close that. Wow, that's a long bloody startup. So every 3 seconds, your beast launches a passive. Every 6 seconds, it should activate his big skill, which you need to scroll down for a fair bit, get through all the troop stuff, which it did not. This report is buggy. Very buggy. There we go, encircling charge, which is the big one. And I did damage. Undead Bull triggered a combo and used that, which then triggered a critical hit, which then triggers that, which then uses Iron Hooves, which then allows me to use Bull Charge, which then allows me to use United Power, which then allows me to use Iron Hooves again, which then allows me to use this, which then used that, which then caused all that damage. Getting those beasts to synergize off each other and ramp up that power is how your beasts deal damage. Now you have to look for the 3 second and the 6 second marks for your beasts. That is when they attack. 3 and 6. Now we have this little bio symbol. This is when we will be launching a rage skill. Now we'll scroll through some of the things that happened. Do its thing. There's the shield reflection. There's counterattack. I used Magic Marksman. Ba-ba. I received reduced damage for 3 seconds because of Sonic Pulse, and I killed 20k of his troops. He absorbed this much damage. He can resist 0 more, so I broke through his shield. Reflection, Magic Marksman, and because I was flanking, it did additional damage. Coming down to ally again. For some reason my Boyds didn't go off. My Bards didn't go off. Is about to activate Dominating C. Yeah, this report's buggy. Yeah, my Bard's attack just disappeared. It wasn't there. So something's gone funky there. And if I didn't create this video, I wouldn't have seen it because it should have been at the top. It should have been at the top of this report right here, showing you Bard's damage from Dominating C. What normally happens... Oh my god. What normally happens is you will see side by side. So 78 seconds, 78:20, 79:20. Back to back. That is my Spectre skill. That is my Bard skill. You should see them back to back. Not missing. And you should be able to see big damage coming off your enemy for when your skills trigger. And my skills triggered, big damage. My skills triggered, big-ish damage. But because he's got shields, that is why he is not getting melted, if that makes sense. Ooh. Battle summary. Get rid of that. So that's how to kind of understand the reports. You really do need to take the time to understand them and have a look. It's not something you'll pick up straight off the bat. It's something that you will have to pay attention to and see what's going on. So right here is a good little example of seeing who is filling your troops and who isn't. So you can see here, Algo has filled in my tower twice, plus Noob, boosting the troops up. Amarin left, Ben left there, so he's obviously pulled out his dead squads and's coming back in to refill. And you should see negative plus, negative plus, negative plus with constant refilling and refreshing. And if you have, let's say, 20 players online and you can't see lots of little dots, lots of little green pluses, you need to be asking yourself, why are they not refilling? Couple of reasons. They aren't refilling because the field presence from the enemy is too bad and they can't get to the rally or the tower. They have no troops, or they aren't helping. Sadly, more often than not, it is the third one, and the people don't want to kill their troops because you do lose troops in tower fights. It is what it is. You lose troops to defend places. But if you don't want to defend them, you can't win. With using those tricks, you'll be able to deduce if your reports are trading well enough to continue, and using the amount of people they're refilling as well, you can tell how active they are in terms of how many troops they've got coming in, their field presence, the battle numbers, everything like that. They all play a very important role in understanding the flow of the battle and when you may have to pull the pin and order a retreat, or dig your heels in and just hang on. So I hope this helps to understand the madness and chaos that is your battle reports. Feel free to reach out with any questions if something was not 100% clear. There is a lot of information to take in for this. I will put timestamps to try to help you navigate information a little bit, but it is a hot mess. If this helped, drop us a like, give us a sub if you haven't. Greatly appreciate it. I'm on my climb to 1,000 subs. I would love to reach that. That would be great. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Harley out.